Have you ever felt different from everyone else? Like you're carrying a weight that others just don't understand? There's something special about you, something that makes you stand out, even when you try to blend in. Throughout history, there have been certain souls who walk this earth with an extraordinary kind of strength. These aren't just regular people. They're souls who have been chosen to carry a special kind of power, a strength that goes far beyond physical muscles or mental toughness. You see them everywhere, but most people don't notice them. They're the ones who stay calm when everyone else panics. They're the ones who keep going when others give up. They're the ones who somehow always end up helping others, even when they're going through their own storms. And if you're watching this video right now, chances are you're one of them. Today, we're going to look at 8 clear signs that show you might be one of the strongest souls walking on earth right now. These aren't just random signs. They're deep patterns that have shown up again and again in the most powerful spirits throughout human history. And trust me, once you know these signs, so many things about your life will suddenly make sense. You'll finally understand why you've gone through so many challenges, why you feel things so deeply, why people always seem to turn to you for strength, why you sometimes feel so different from everyone around you. This isn't just another video about being special. This is about recognizing your true spiritual power and understanding why you are the way you are. But here's why knowing these signs is so important right now. We're living in a time of massive change. The world is shifting faster than ever before, and people are feeling lost, confused, and scared. This isn't just about you feeling special or understanding yourself better. It's about something much bigger. Strong souls like you aren't given this gift by accident. You're not just randomly stronger than others. You were chosen for a reason. In times of darkness, it's the strongest souls who light the way for others. When people are losing hope, it's souls like you who remind them that there's always a way forward. When others are falling apart, it's your strength that helps hold things together. Think about it. Why do people always seem to find you when they need help? Why do strangers open up to you about their problems? Why do you keep finding yourself in situations where others need your strength? It's not a coincidence. It's your purpose. But here's the thing. Many strong souls don't realize their own power. They go through life thinking they're just unlucky, carrying too many burdens, or somehow cursed to deal with more than their fair share of challenges. They don't realize that these challenges are actually signs of their incredible spiritual strength. And that's exactly what we're going to change today. Before we dive into the signs, you need to understand something crucial about being a strong soul. It's not about having an easy life. Actually, it's usually the exact opposite. The strongest souls are often given the hardest battles, the biggest challenges, the deepest wounds to heal. Think about it like a diamond, the most precious stone on earth. Do you know how diamonds are made? Under extreme pressure, in the darkest places, through incredibly difficult conditions. That's exactly how the strongest souls are forged. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every moment you think you can't go on, but somehow find the strength to continue. These aren't punishments. They're not bad luck. They're the very things that have been making you stronger. They're the pressure creating the diamond of your soul. Your strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you've earned. Every tear you've cried, every time you've picked yourself up after falling, every moment you've spent helping others when you barely had enough energy for yourself. These are the things that have shaped you into who you are. The strongest souls aren't the ones who never face problems. They're the ones who face the biggest problems and keep going anyway. And here's something most people don't realize about strong souls. They often feel things more deeply than others, not less. You might think that being strong means being numb to pain or hardship. But true spiritual strength comes from feeling everything deeply and continuing on anyway. It's about having a soft heart in a hard world and somehow keeping that heart open despite everything you've been through. This is why so many strong souls often feel overwhelmed or wonder if they're actually weak. They feel everything so intensely, the pain, the joy, the love, the loss. But what they don't realize is that being able to feel so deeply and still keep going is one of the greatest signs of spiritual strength there is. A lot of people think strength means being tough, rigid, and unbreakable. But true spiritual strength is more like water. Water can flow gently enough to nurture a small flower, yet it's powerful enough to carve through mountains. It can adapt to any container it's put in, yet it can't be destroyed. It can be soft and yielding, yet nothing can overcome its persistence. That's the kind of strength we're talking about. The kind of strength you have isn't about pushing others down to lift yourself up. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room or showing everyone how tough you are. It's about something much deeper and more powerful. It's about having the kind of strength that lifts others up. The kind of strength that brings light to dark places. The kind of strength that changes lives just by being present. You probably noticed that you handle things differently than most people. Where others might break down, you find a way to keep going. When others give up, something in you refuses to quit. When others turn away from pain, you face it head on. This isn't because you're better than anyone else. It's because you were built for these challenges. Your soul was crafted to carry this kind of strength. But carrying this strength isn't always easy. Sometimes it feels like a burden. Sometimes you might wish you could just be normal, feel less, care less, give up more easily. But deep down, you know that's not who you are. You know you were meant for something more. And in the next part of this video, we're going to look at the specific signs that prove this is true. Think of these signs as a mirror. They'll reflect back to you what you probably already know deep in your soul. They'll help you understand why you are the way you are and why that's not just okay. It's exactly how you're meant to be. Because once you understand your strength, you can stop fighting it and start using it in the way it was meant to be used. Your strength isn't just about surviving your own challenges. It's about being a lighthouse for others in their storms. It's about showing people what's possible when you refuse to give up. It's about demonstrating that even in the darkest times, there's always a light that keeps burning. And you, with your incredibly strong soul, are that light. So as we go through these signs, don't just listen with your mind. Feel them with your soul. Let them resonate with the truth you already know deep inside. Because recognizing these signs isn't just about understanding yourself better. It's about accepting your role in the bigger picture. It's about stepping into your power and using it to make a difference in a world that desperately needs strong souls like yours. If you're one of the strongest souls on earth, you've likely noticed a strange pattern in your life. You've faced more storms than most people can even imagine. But here's what makes you different. You're still standing. Not just standing, but somehow growing stronger through each challenge that comes your way. Think about your life for a moment. Where others might have one or two big challenges to overcome, you've faced wave after wave of difficulties. It's like life keeps testing you, pushing you to your limits, seeing just how much you can handle. And every single time, even when you think you can't take any more, you find a way to push through. You probably wondered why this happens to you. Why does life seem harder for you than for others around you? Why do you keep facing one challenge after another? The truth is, these storms aren't punishments. They're recognition of your incredible strength. Just like a master trainer gives the heaviest weights to the strongest athlete, the universe gives the biggest challenges to the soul strong enough to handle them. What's truly remarkable about you isn't just that you survive these storms, it's how you do it. While others might become bitter or broken by their challenges, you somehow find a way to stay soft. You keep your heart open. You maintain your ability to love, to care, to help others. That's not just survival. That's true strength. People often look at you in amazement, wondering how you keep going. They see you face things that would break most people, yet you continue to move forward. You might not always feel strong in these moments. Sometimes you cry. Sometimes you feel like giving up. Sometimes you wonder if you can take one more step. But here's the thing. You always take that step anyway. What makes you truly special isn't that you don't feel pain or fear. It's that you feel everything deeply, yet you keep moving forward anyway. You've learned that being strong doesn't mean being fearless. It means being afraid and doing what needs to be done despite that fear. You've discovered that true courage isn't about not falling down. It's about how many times you're willing to get back up. Have you noticed how people always seem to find their way to you when they're in trouble? It's like you have some kind of invisible sign that says safe space hanging over your head. Even strangers somehow sense that you're someone they can trust, someone who will understand, someone who will help carry their burdens. This isn't just about being nice or friendly. This is about something much deeper. You have a natural ability to make people feel safe, to help them find their strength when they think they have none left. You're like a spiritual lighthouse. People naturally navigate toward your light when they're lost in their own storms. The amazing thing is, you do this even when you're going through your own challenges. Even when you're tired, even when you're dealing with your own problems, you somehow find the energy to be there for others. It's like you have an endless well of strength that you can draw from, not just for yourself, but for everyone who needs it. Sometimes this feels overwhelming. Sometimes you wish people would stop coming to you with their problems, especially when you're already carrying so much. But deep down, you know this is part of who you are. You can't help but help others. It's woven into the very fabric of your soul. You probably noticed that you can't just walk away when someone is suffering. Even when you try to ignore it, even when you tell yourself it's not your problem, something in you has to reach out, has to try to help, has to try to make things better. This isn't weakness or people-pleasing. It's one of the clearest signs of your soul's incredible strength. Think about it. How many times have you put aside your own needs to help someone else? How many times have you listened to someone's problems when you were exhausted? How many times have you given support, guidance, or just a shoulder to cry on when you barely had enough energy for yourself? This ability to give even when you feel empty isn't just kindness. It's spiritual power. There's something else that sets you apart. You can't just accept things at face value. While others might be content with surface-level explanations or easy answers, something in you always needs to dig deeper. You're like a spiritual detective, always searching for the real truth behind everything. This isn't just about being curious or skeptical. It's about having a soul that naturally seeks truth and authenticity. You can spot fake people from a mile away. You can sense when someone's not being honest, even if they're technically telling the truth. You have an almost supernatural ability to see through masks and facades to what's really going on underneath. This gift of discernment isn't always comfortable. Sometimes you see things you wish you didn't. Sometimes you understand truths that others aren't ready to face. Sometimes you feel like you're carrying the weight of knowing things that others can't or won't see. But this ability to see deeper than others is another clear sign of your soul's strength. You've probably had moments where you knew something was off, even when everyone else thought everything was fine. Maybe you've been called too sensitive, too suspicious, or too intense because you couldn't just accept the easy explanations. But time has likely proven you right more often than not. Your soul naturally recognizes truth from lies, real from fake, authentic from artificial. This truth-seeking nature often makes you feel different from others. While they seem content with accepting what they're told, you need to understand the why behind everything. While they might be satisfied with quick fixes and surface solutions, you need to address the root cause. While they might be okay with living in illusion, something in you constantly pushes toward truth. This isn't always an easy gift to carry. Sometimes you wish you could just accept things like everyone else seems to. Sometimes you wish you could just go along with the crowd, believe what you're told, take the easy path. But your soul won't let you. It keeps pushing you toward truth, toward understanding, toward deeper meaning. And this constant push toward truth, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient, is another sign of your incredible spiritual strength. If you're one of the strongest souls, you've probably noticed that you feel emotions differently than others. It's not just that you feel them. You experience them with an intensity that sometimes takes your breath away. Every joy, every sorrow, every love, every loss, you feel it all the way down to your soul. Some people might think this makes you weak. They might tell you you're too sensitive, too emotional, too intense. But the truth is, Feeling deeply isn't a weakness. It's one of your greatest strengths. Think about it. Anyone can be strong when they're numb. The real strength comes from feeling everything and choosing to keep your heart open anyway. You probably notice that you can sense what others are feeling, even when they try to hide it. It's like you have an emotional radar that picks up on the subtlest signals. You can walk into a room and immediately know if something's wrong. You can hear the pain behind someone's laughter, the fear behind their anger, the loneliness behind their smile. This gift of emotional intelligence goes beyond just feeling things. You understand emotions, both your own and others, in a way that most people don't. You see the patterns, the connections, the deeper meanings behind emotional reactions. You know that anger usually masks hurt, that criticism often comes from insecurity, that sometimes the loudest laugh hides the deepest pain. The amazing thing about you is that despite feeling everything so intensely, you've learned to carry these emotions without letting them drown you. Yes, you feel the pain deeply, but you also feel joy just as deeply. Yes, you experience sorrow intensely, but you also experience love with the same intensity. You've learned to be strong not by shutting emotions out, but by learning to swim in their deep waters. Here's another truth you've probably recognized. Being one of the strongest souls can often feel incredibly lonely. You've likely spent a lot of time feeling different, misunderstood, like you don't quite fit in with the crowd. But there's a reason for this. Leaders often walk alone. You see, you're not meant to follow the usual paths. Your soul knows this. Even if sometimes your mind wishes you could just be normal. You've probably noticed that you can't just go along with things that don't feel right to you, even when it would be easier to just follow the crowd. This independence isn't about being rebellious or difficult. It's about having a strong inner compass that won't let you betray your truth. When others are going right, something in you knows you need to go left. When everyone is saying yes, something in you knows you need to say no. When the crowd is running one way, something in you knows you need to walk the other direction. Being this kind of leader doesn't always mean being in front of crowds or having a big following. Sometimes it just means being the first person brave enough to speak an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes it means standing alone in your convictions when everyone else gives in to pressure. Sometimes it means blazing a trail that others can follow when they're ready. You've probably had many moments where you felt like the odd one out. Maybe you've wondered why you can't just fit in, why you can't just do things the way everyone else does. But here's the truth. You're not supposed to fit in. You're supposed to stand out. Your difference isn't a flaw, it's a feature. Hashtag sign number 6, the light bearer. This might be one of the most beautiful signs of a strong soul. Your ability to maintain hope and light, even in the darkest times. It's not that you don't see the darkness. You do. In fact, you might see it more clearly than most. But something in you refuses to be overcome by it. You're like a candle that keeps burning even in the strongest wind. No matter what storms come your way, no matter how dark things get, you somehow maintain this inner light. And not just for yourself. Your light helps others find their way through their own darkness. Think about the times when everything seemed hopeless, yet something in you kept believing in better possibilities. Remember the moments when others gave up, but you kept holding on to faith. Recall the situations where everyone else saw only problems, but you could somehow see opportunities. This isn't about being blindly optimistic or ignoring reality. Your hope isn't naive, it's battle-tested. You've been through enough to know that life can be hard, that bad things happen, that sometimes darkness feels overwhelming. But you've also learned that darkness never has the final word unless we let it. Your ability to maintain hope isn't just about staying positive. It's about being a light for others. You've probably noticed that people often come to you when they're feeling hopeless. They're drawn to your light, to your ability to see possibilities where others see only dead ends. Even when you're going through your own challenges, something in you keeps shining. As we've explored these signs together, you've probably recognized yourself in many of them. Maybe you're starting to understand why your life has unfolded the way it has. why you face so many challenges, why you feel things so deeply, why you can't just follow the crowd, why you keep finding yourself in positions where others need your strength. Remember this: your strength isn't an accident. You weren't randomly chosen to carry these burdens. You were given this strength because you have the capacity to use it wisely, to help others, to make a difference in a world that desperately needs strong souls. Yes, being one of the strongest souls on earth comes with its challenges. Sometimes it feels heavy. Sometimes it feels lonely. Sometimes you might wish you could just be normal. But your strength is a gift, not just for you, but for everyone whose life you touch. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be strong every moment of every day. It's okay to rest. It's okay to cry. It's okay to need help sometimes. True strength isn't about never falling. It's about always being willing to get back up. As you move forward from this video, carry this knowledge with you. Your strength isn't a burden, it's a blessing. Your sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. Your differences aren't flaws, they're gifts. You are exactly who you're meant to be, and the world needs your light now more than ever. Take a moment to really let this sink in. All those challenges you faced, they were preparing you for your purpose. All those times you felt different, that was your uniqueness emerging. All those moments when you kept going despite everything, that was your soul's true strength shining through. You are one of the strongest souls on earth, not by accident, but by divine design. And now that you know these signs, you can step more fully into your power and purpose. The world needs your strength, your light, your truth now more than ever before. Remember, being strong doesn't mean you have to carry everything alone. Share your story in the comments below. Let others know they're not alone. Together, strong souls can create miracles. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more spiritual insights and guidance. Until next time, keep shining your light. The world needs it more than you know.